And right now, live at 5 on WHAS11 News, clouds started moving in this afternoon after a beautiful winter day. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has now declared a state of emergency for Kentucky for heavy rains that will cover the state by Saturday morning. Here in Louisville, we're going to now update for you the new rainfall totals expected around Kentuckiana. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. We're joined now by Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine, and you're going to kind of give us a timeline on when all this rain is coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be overnight after around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Before sunrise, already soaking rains across the area. It's going to last well after sunset as well. So it's going to be an all-day rain, and so we have issued a weather impact alert day for tomorrow. Definitely need all that rain gear if you plan to be out. And then watching out for ponding of water on the roadways. And some of the heaviest rain is going to set up over us tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. Flood watch for the entire viewing area from north, south, east, and west. This is for all day tomorrow through Sunday at 1 p.m. Some areas, especially south of Louisville, could see around 4, 5, 6 inches of rainfall, and that's going to do a number on the rivers, creeks, and streams. It's going to have to watch out for that high water tomorrow and tomorrow night. Right now, for your Valentine's evening, it's chilly out there. We had some sunshine earlier today. Clouds starting to roll in advance of that system in the mid to upper 30s, and pretty steady temperatures for the rest of this evening, all 30s throughout Kentuckiana right now. So futurecast shows dry weather for the evening time, and then late during the overnight hours after around 3, 4 o'clock. Or notice the rain already here. This is at around 4:30 a.m. continuing all day long. If we get any breaks, maybe southern Indiana briefly in the afternoon, but notice it kicks back in as atmospheric water hose really turning on tomorrow evening. Maybe a few thunderstorms, but not expecting any severe weather with that. Flooding our big issue for tomorrow and tomorrow night. So steady temperatures in the 30s and cloudy conditions this evening. And then we could switch it to some snow showers on Sunday and cold weather all next week. That's the next thing we're going to be talking about, the potential of some accumulating snow later in that 7-day forecast.
Ben, thank you very much. As we told you about at the top of our newscast, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has now declared a state of emergency for Kentucky ahead of the heavy rain and the subsequent flooding that we are expecting to see over the weekend.
Yeah, some will see 2 to 5 inches of rain over the next day. Our National Guard and Swift Boat Water Rescue crews are headed to various areas around the state in preparation. And remember, no amount of water is safe to travel in. 6 inches can cause tires to lose traction and a car to stall. A foot of water will sweep it away.
We are not asking people to stay home at this point in time. If things change, we'll certainly make people aware of that. But at this point in time, we're just asking people to use caution.
Now, the mayor saying to keep an eye on the roads this weekend. Flash flooding is possible in parts of Jefferson County. And one local restaurant has already made preparations for that potential flooding next week.
Our Ian Hardwick and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton are joining us live right now from River Road and Harrods Creek at Cunningham's restaurant, so well known there. And Ian, Cunningham's is used to flooding over the years. They know exactly when it's time to leave. Are they still open right now? What's the latest?
Doug, they're still open right now, but they may reconsider that come next Tuesday. You can see where the water level was here in this stairwell. We've got a bunch of debris here and even a knockoff crock showing you how high that water was. The worry is if that water is going to get up to the second level of the restaurant. Now, the owner here, George Bryn, he's for sure that the water is going to hit this lower level, so he's already cleared it out. Now the city, they're preparing too. Here's video from the Patty's Run pump station at the Metropolitan Sewer District, pumping water into the Ohio River. Some city waterways, their gates are shut down to prevent the river from backing up into town. Now, city officials told us today that emergency crews from police and fire are on standby, a pivot from previous expectations when the rain was expected further south.
We're putting resources together to potentially help the rest of the state, and now it could look like, depending on what happens, we could need help from outside in the state. So we're coordinating those resources as well.
Metro Emergency Services Director Jody Myman there also said the city is staging barriers throughout the metro in case any roads need to be shut down. And like I said, over here at Cunningham's Tavern, they're looking towards early next week on whether or not they're going to stay open. The owner here says just 1 foot of water, 1 foot away from the top floor is what he's expecting later on. Live on Harrods Creek, which goes right into the Ohio River behind me, I'm Ian Hardwitt for WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, one of the first areas to watch for flooding. Thank you very much, Ian. More of our top stories here for you tonight at 5 o'clock. Two men who police say blew right past drivers on the Waterson Expressway at shocking speeds were arrested for illegal street racing, and they appeared in court today. Louisville Metro Police arresting Jason Wu and Justin Smith Monday night for racing near Poplar Level Road. According to LMPD, Wu was driving at 119 miles per hour and Smith clocked in at 123. The stretch of the Waterson where they were driving has a speed limit of 55. Both men are facing several charges, including speeding and reckless driving. Both men pleading not guilty to all the charges today, and they're going to be back in court at 9 a.m. on April 19th. Coming up tonight at 6, we were in the courtroom today. Plus, you're going to hear from the Louisville mayor about the arrests and the future of crushing cars confiscated from street racers. And here tonight, a Jefferson County man was indicted today on charges of murder after a deadly crash that happened on the National Turnpike. This crash happened in 2023. Witnesses telling police they saw Kendall Shaw speeding down the road when he lost control of the car. He ran off the road and hit a railroad crossing pole. He had a woman in the car with him at the time. Officers say the woman was able to get out of that car, but Shaw ran off from the scene on foot, leaving her on the ground. She later died at the hospital. Shaw is charged with murder and having a handgun as a convicted felon.
A tax increase that aims to provide some school updates. Well, it's in the works in Carroll County. The superintendent is proposing a 10-cent tax increase to fund facility improvements and universal preschool. Now, for a house worth $100,000, that would add $59 in taxes. WHAS 11's Clarice Shaley has the details from the superintendent and what a local child care center thinks about the proposal.
It's more than just babysitting here.
Learning is happening every day at First Infant Toddler Kinderready in Carrollton.
They're learning everything, self-help skills, how to feed themselves on top of ABCs, 1, 2, 3s.
From infants to preschool students, tracking milestones and preparing them for kindergarten.
They learn adding and subtracting before they even get to kindergarten.
Owner and director of the Child Care Center, Karen Evans, has been following a tax increase by the Carroll County Board of Education.
I'm not opposed to the tax. He's coming at us with no plan of how you're going to run this.
Carroll County Schools Superintendent Casey Janes has proposed a 10-cent tax increase. So for a home valued at $100,000, that means a $59 increase to your yearly bill. Superintendent James talked with me over the phone.
We have about a 60 to 70% third graders are not reading on grade level. And we know from our data that if they come to us not kindergarten ready, they never catch up.
Making preschool vital. That's why part of this tax increase would go to funding universal preschool. With that additional funding, there are plans to turn Catherine Wynn Primary into the Early Learning Center. Plus, it would lead to shifts in facilities and upgrades to Carroll County's education.
Is the main push to improve the education for our current community members and provide opportunities for our students that we cannot currently offer.
50% of the county is being served by the system's current preparation program with needed room to grow. Evans says the reading level data isn't fair because these students were learning during the pandemic.
You can't use this pandemic kids because at that time we had 2 staff members doing 9 kindergartners on computers every single day.
While she'll keep watching for a solid plan, the school leader says it's the future.
It's a different generation of parents that we have. They are working second shift and they don't read to their child. The earlier we start with the reading and math process, the quicker they catch up and stay on grade level.
As the Board of Education continues to work out the details. In Carrollton, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, Superintendent Janes says the plan is to send out a survey to business owners soon, and at this time, there's no set time to vote on the tax increase. Evans tells us the county is watching the increase, and there are plans to start a petition against it if it's approved.
Graduation day today. Today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg and Metro Corrections Chief Jerry Collins congratulating the new graduates of the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections Academy. They, of course, will be staffing our jail downtown. The mayor emphasizing how important corrections officers are to the community and how excited he is to be working with them in the future. This academy has been teaching the officers how they are between the bridge between punishment and rehabilitation.
Together, we are ready to make a difference. We are no longer recruits of CTAC 142. We are the product, the graduated officers of Corrections Training Academy class number 142. Thank you and God bless you all.
Today, a total of 9 officers graduated, 8 Metro Corrections officers and a youth training officer.
The Jefferson County Sheriff won a top award. Sheriff John Aubrey is the nation's Sheriff of the Year. He will be recognized at the annual conference in Florida. Sheriff Aubrey is in his 7th term with over 55 years in public service, including being the president of the National and Kentucky Sheriff's Associations. Aubrey is the longest serving sheriff in Jefferson County history. And today, Norton Healthcare unveiled its first location in Valley Station with 6,000 square feet of space. That new building will have 14 exam rooms for primary and immediate care, and patients won't have to go to the main hospitals for x-rays or labs. The building is just off the Gene Snyder on Dixie Highway, a more convenient drive for people in Meade or Hardin County as well.